Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the 2023 top 10s, and this is going to be on the dropouts in the 154-pound super welterweight division, as we look at the fighters that dropped out of last year's top 10 and what's going on with them. So before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So we're beginning the 154-pound division, and we always start with the fighters that dropped out first. So let's take a look at those guys. We start with, from lowest to highest, we had 5 fighters drop out of last year's top 10. First up is Terrell Gausha. Former world title challenger. He previously was number 10. He just dropped. He's 36 years old right now, but he just dropped out based on other guys that I felt have done more moving ahead of him. You know, Gausha last year scored a knockdown against 10's and then got dominated the remainder of the fight in 2022. So no shame in that. He actually returned and went 2-0 with a knockout in 2023. So he's still kind of flirting on the border. But as of right now, I wouldn't put him in, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gives him an opportunity, maybe not at a world title, but like some kind of an eliminator or another guy on his way up gives him a shot, like Yoenis Tellez, who fights with the PBC, I believe he does. If he got an opportunity against a guy like that, because, you know, guys are going to want to test themselves, and Gausha is a veteran, former world title challenger, and kind of the symbol of a gatekeeper at 154. So I wouldn't be surprised if guys, if somebody gives them the opportunity and wanted to get in the ring with Gausha. Next up is 35-year-old former 2-division champion Danny Garcia, who previously was number 9. He didn't fight at all in 2023. Part of that was because he's waiting around for a shot at Erislandy Lara for the middleweight title, as they are projected to meet in a catchweight fight of 155. But that fight's been talked about for a while now. The last time I heard anything, they were gonna fight in December, but because of the PBC and Showtime, you know, getting out of the fight game, the PBC had to scramble and find a new home, and I think they scrapped their schedule for the end of the year and wanted to put everything towards moving over to Amazon. So the PBC is projected to be, you know, releasing their schedule on what they're going to do soon, and we're going to find out what's going on with Danny Garcia, the former 2-division champ. I still believe he's going to get the shot at Erislandy Lara at a catchweight of 155. I honestly think Lara is going to beat him, and beat him convincingly. You know, and then after that, honestly, I think Danny might retire from the sport. So I don't see him returning to 154 or doing anything worth a note. Then next to drop out, 35-year-old former 154-pound champ Liam Smith of the United Kingdom. He previously was number 8, and he dropped out because he moved up to middleweight and had his 2 fights with Chris Eubank Jr. So Liam Smith is a full-on middleweight now. He upset Chris Eubank in the first fight and then lost to him in the second fight in the rematch last year, but he's full-on at middleweight now, and that's why he's dropped out. I don't see him returning to junior middle 154. Next to drop out is 33-year-old former WBC champion Tony Harrison. Harrison entered the year number 6, was coming off of a very good decision win over Sergio Garcia in 2022 that made him bounce back. And I even went so far, because he looked so good in that fight, I even went so far as to pick him over Tim Tszyu in that fight back in March. And Tim Tszyu dominated him. He just picked him apart, beat him up for 9 rounds before stopping him in 9. And now Tony Harrison has suffered another loss. He drops out because of the loss, and really, you go back and look at his resume outside of Sergio Garcia, who's been defeated a couple times as well. And once in particular, Yoenis Tellez destroyed him. Tony Harrison really hasn't done much outside of that victory, and I think Sergio Garcia is kind of showing that maybe he's not as good as we thought he was. He just had a good night against Sebastian Fundora, who how good he is has come into question as well. So Tony Harrison, at any moment, he's going to be viewed as a gatekeeper, stepping stone guy, and at any moment he could get a solid fight. The question is who's he going to fight, and if he's going to fight. And I think he might be taking some time off, possibly even contemplating retirement. So we'll see what happens for Tony Harrison in 2024. And then the last guy to drop out is former WBO champion Brian Castano. Castano, 34 years old, just did not fight in 2023. He hasn't fought since his knockout loss, the first of his career, to Jermell Charlo. He hasn't fought since then. That was in May of 2022. So by the time he returns, it's going to be close to a 2-year layoff for him. And if he returns in the first half of the year. And the thing is, it's sad, is he came into the year number 2 and he drops out for inactivity. I hope he comes back. Brian Castano still has a lot to give, in my opinion. He's a really good fighter, and I hope he comes back this year and comes back strong, but we'll see what goes down. So that's it. That is the start of my 2023 top 10s for the 154-pound division. This has been the video on the guys that dropped out of 154 from last year's top 10. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.